Well, hello there, Minecrafters. Thanks for coming by, and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. And disclaimer, this is 1.15.2, just in case you're watching in the future and they have completely changed the game. Just keep that in mind. Now, today we are going back to basics, and we are going to talk about blocks. Yes, there's so much you can learn about blocks. This is mostly for newcomers, but if you're a veteran, it might give some good info here. And what we are going to focus on, what blocks are in terms of commands. So if you notice, there is a bit of a different look from that block to that block. How do you change that? And how do you place other types of blocks that have items, things like that? We're going to be going over all of that. But just a quick recap from last video, there's a setting on the launcher we need to set up. So here we are in the first window that pops up when you load Minecraft Java Edition, and you want to go down to settings, and you want to make sure that this bottom one here, open output log when game start, is clicked on. If it is and you press play, you're going to get another screen pop up. It's the Minecraft game output screen, and what it does is it gives you kind of an idea of errors that are going on in the game, but it also outputs the chat log so you can easily copy over the text and use it towards your commands in the game. Now, if you are a beginner, you may not be aware that there are many types of blocks that are not these square cuboid looking blocks. Here's an example. Redstone repeater. That is technically a block in terms of commands. Or redstone wire, even though it's not a square. Button, signs. Gravel's an interesting one because it starts out as a block and then it turns into an entity and then back into a block. Lava, water, air, they're all blocks, but they don't have that square looking block like stone. So just keep that in mind. And the main reason you know they're blocks is because they work with the setblock command. So setblock is one of my favorite commands in Minecraft, and it allows you to place a block anywhere in the world that's loaded without having to actually fly over there and physically place the block down by hand. And there's a few different ways you can pull this off, but the first way I want to show you guys is through something called relative coordinates. Now your command is going to look a little bit like this. We've got a set block command. We've got these weird symbols here. These are coordinates, X, Y, and Z, but they're not numbers. What they are is they mean wherever that command is being run, that's where that block is going to be set. So at my location, because I'm running the command in the chat, you're going to see it just pushed me out of the way. I just placed the stone block at my location. I can change this by adding a number, and this will be 2 blocks above my location like that. Or we can change where it's being executed from with a command block, because now the command block is going to pull off that command. It's going to go 1 block above instead of me. Press the button, and you can see there we now have a stone block above it. Another method other than relative coordinates I just wanted to go over briefly is if you look at a block or you put your cursor on it, you can run a set block command, but instead of those tildes, you can press tab, space tab, space tab, and you can change the block you're physically looking at to whatever you want to do. Just a brief rundown of set block in case you're not familiar with it. Now I want to go over something called block states. So when we talk about block states, what we mean is that there are some blocks in Minecraft that have multiple different looks to them, or you can change their properties, or they have different positionings, like these 3 oak logs. These are different block states. They're the same block, but we can change the look of it. And that's really cool because if we can see it, we can create it with a command, and we can place the block exactly how we want it to look. So in order to understand how we can alter the state of a block, we need to bring up the debug screen. We can do that by pressing F3, and that's going to bring up all these crazy words here that could be pretty overwhelming for somebody who's new. But we're just going to focus on the right-hand side here, right here. Okay, targeted block. That's the block that I have my cursor on. Okay, and if you see it says Minecraft :white _ terracotta, that is the name of that block that we want to use in our commands. So this one doesn't have any extra states to it, and you'll notice when I go over to the cobblestone, it doesn't have any extra states. But as soon as we go to a block that has an extra state, it starts to give us some extra information here. Axis Y, go to the next one, axis X, axis Z. We can go to a furnace and you can see it starts to change a little bit more. We have a facing block state. We have a lit block state. And the repeater, we've got quite a bit of stuff there. Delay, north. And then the other thing is this can show you some blocks that you didn't really know were blocks. So when I power that piston, you can see that block is called a piston head. It's not a piston, it's a piston head. Or invisible block, where are you? There it is, structure void. So this can kind of give you an idea of how you can start working with block states. So the next step here is that we are going to place a block in a specific block state exactly how we want it to look using a command. Now we are going to copy this repeater in this form over to here, but the problem is you can't just do a set block command, because you'll see it's completely wrong. It's not lit, it's facing the wrong way, it's not the right delay. So the best way to kind of get into this is press F3, look at the one you want to copy over here, and we can see all these block states here. So we have a delay of 3, we have facing east, we have locked false, and we have powered true. So all we have to do is go over to the block we're looking at. And remember, if we press tab, 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 we can pick the block we're looking at. And then we need to pick a repeater. And then we can press square bracket. And all the options we have are written right here. So it was a delay of 3. And then it was facing east. And I can tab and autocomplete this. Locked was false. And powered was true. And so when I press this, you'll see it copies exactly there. It even defies Minecraft rules because it's lit with no block powering it. Of course, when you update it, it goes out when you update it. But that kind of gives you an idea of how to place the block you actually want in the world. So now that you know how to place blocks with specific block states and change the way you want it to look, we're now going to be talking about how you can place a block that has special data attached to it. So that could be a chest that has these particular items in it or whatever items you want. It could be a sign with a special message on it. It could be a really cool banner you like. It could even be a command block that has a command already inside of it. You can set block that as it is. So it's a little more complicated. We're going to be attaching some NBT onto the end of the command. But what we're going to be doing is we are going to be creating this chest right here with these items in it exactly how it is. The first thing we need to do is figure out the block state of the chest. Now remember, we can't just do a default chest because it'll be facing the wrong way. So if we press F3 and we look at the block we want, and then these are default, so we don't actually have to include those, but facing west is the one that we want to copy over. And so we go over to our command and we type in facing west, press done, and already we have the correct block state. But how do we get the items attached to that set block command? Well, we're going to be using a new command I'm going to teach you. It's called the data command. So we want to look at the block we want to copy. We want to type in data, and then we want to type in get, and it's a block, so we want to type in block, and then tab space tab space tab. That also works here where you're looking at the block. You pick that coordinate, and then you press enter, and it's going to give you all the NBT data in these little squiggles here that you can copy over. Now, if you remember at the beginning of the video, I told you guys to get the game output screen loaded. So let's go over there. So because it's been posted in the chat, it actually shows up on this game output screen. Now there's our command here. The block data is from this to this. You can highlight it and then you can Control-C copy it and you can paste it in your command. And then all you have to do is go into the command and just paste it at the end. So Control-V will paste, and you can see there's our whole command there. If it's yellow, that means that you have the command correct. You can actually read it. I usually like to delete these X, Y, and Z coordinates. I don't actually know if it matters. It's something we copied over from the other location, but I'm going to remove it just in case. And then what we can do is we can set block that chest, but it's not going to work on another chest. There's something about Minecraft that won't actually update a chest unless you use the data merge command. But with set block, we just need to make sure that it's not a chest, and then we can press this and we then have the chest that we want. This also works with banners. So we have a black wall banner and the block state is that is facing west. So I have it here, black wall banner facing west. When I press that, we have, it looks different, but it is the actual same block. And then we just have to get the data from that banner. So we do a data get block, tab, 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 press enter. And so here is the block data for that wall banner we were looking for. So I'm going to highlight this from bracket to bracket, and I'm going to Control-C copy. And then all we have to do is go into the command. We have to Control-V and paste, and there's our full command. I'm going to leave that X, Y, and Z just to see what happens this time. And just like the chest, the black wall banner, because that is another black wall banner, this command isn't going to be able to update that. So it's got to be a different block if you're using set block. We can press that, and there is that same banner. It's pretty simple to do that. And if you want to do it with a command block with a command already inside of it, it's the same process here. This is a say hi command block. So it works like that. We're just going to do a data get block and look at the block and press tab, tab, tab. We're going to press enter, and then we're going to go over to the game output screen. And here's the data for the command block. We're just going to copy over from bracket to bracket, Control C. And then we are going to put it inside our command block for this one right here. That's going to set the block 2 blocks higher. Control V, paste it, goes at the end there. And then we are going to activate it. And it should say hi inside of it. So that is kind of the bare bones basics of blocks in Minecraft when dealing with commands and block states and getting data off of blocks and all that sort of fun stuff. Hopefully you enjoyed this little tutorial. If you did, please leave a like. Leave any questions in the comments if you have any. And if you wouldn't mind subscribing, I would really love you. But anyway, we will see you next time, guys, in the next video. And enjoy your Minecrafting and have a great day.